Okay, guys. Yes, thanks for waiting, but looks like others are not joining. We just given them time. Fine, let me share my screen. So what was yesterday's discussion? If anyone would like to take a recap by yourself, what all we discussed in yesterday? Do we guys remember it? Yesterday's session? Nizir? It is Nizir, right? One second, Nizar. Nizar, would you like to take a recap of yesterday's session? Whatever you remember? Or shall I? Anyone? Hmm. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Not working, ma'am. Okay. Then who else will take? Gopal Ha Krishnan. I hope you can take it. It looks good for me. How much you guys understood, right? Rushi and any one person. How whatever you guys remember, that much at least. What all we discussed? We discussed a lot right yesterday. So what all we discussed? Can we have a discussion now? Okay, fine. Looks like no one wanted to talk about it. Fine. I will be taking a very quick recap. And as I said, today we are going to get into agenda, like, entire syllabus, what all I'm going to teach you. Correct? That is what we are going to do today. So, yesterday we were discussing about entire overview of data analysis. Entire overview of data analysis, right? Like what is data analysis, why we have to go for data analysis, and how we are supposed to do data analysis. All these things we discussed yesterday. Okay, how can we prepare a data analysis, right? All this we discussed yesterday. And apart from that, what we have discussed is we also discussed how many modules I'll be covering, what is the course duration, and what are the advantages you guys are getting once you master this course, like, the recording access, and also like how can you attend sessions regarding timings, everything we have discussed. Correct. Then later on, we discussed about entire course view. Entire course view means like the flow of the course, means how we are going to start this program and how we are going to end this program. The entire view we discussed. Okay. And that's all yesterday we discussed. And today, as I promised, I'm going to share the syllabus. Okay. The most important part of any demo, that you should understand what you guys are actually going to learn. So first, why you have to go for data analysis? Yesterday we learned. After getting into data analysis, what all we are doing, we have learned all those things also. Correct. What are the projects we are doing, assignments, individual assignments, group assignments, all these things. The main stuff got completed yesterday only, and today is all about your syllabus. After this syllabus, from tomorrow, we are going to start off our Power BI. Okay. We are starting our module with Power BI, and we are going to start with Power BI classes. If we get time, we are going to install Power BI today in your systems if we get time today. So that is very easy, where we can hardly we have 8 members, 7 members today in the class. Hardly 10 to 15 minutes is good enough to install Power BI desktop. So today we are going to do that installation. Okay, after that installation, from tomorrow, you are ready to start up your first practical from tomorrow. Your classes are getting started from tomorrow, and 2 days free session from Monday you can get converted. And once the conversion is done, that would be your 10:30 batch. Okay, fine. Now, let me talk about Excel. Excel, we are starting with basic to advanced level. So in any, like, any business problems will have two kind of solutions or multiple solutions. Okay, either two or multiple solution. Some might have only one solution, understandable, but most of the cases. One we say as a static and another one we say as a dynamic. And you guys are not bad. We were already started from yesterday. It means we all know each other. We can make our sessions more interactive from today only, so that tomorrow when you join class also you can feel free to ask your doubts. I just give you that lenience, or I just give you that time for you to go and ask your doubts. I'll not rush, first of all. Okay. So now my question is, what is static and what is dynamic? Who would like to answer? What is static and what is dynamic? Akanksha, do you like to answer what is static and what is dynamic? Anyone? Okay. Quickly search Google and tell me. No problem. Rama, Gopalakrishna, Nizar Ahmad, Rushi, Santu, Shashank. Yes. No one know what is dynamic and static. Students are very silent than yesterday. Am I audible? Or at least say yes or no. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Okay. But we don't want you to answer what is static and dynamic, right? Okay, let me tell you. Static and dynamic. So in Excel, we are going to start static and also dynamic. First, we are going to with the static. Static here means basic level. Dynamic here means advanced level. And static will give you one time solution, and dynamic will give you like a automated solution, means a permanent solution. It will give answer automatically. And here human intervention is not required, and here, sorry, human intervention is required, and here human intervention is not required. I'm putting a into mark. Okay, here human intervention is required, here human intervention is not required. For example, for any problem, if you're giving a solution and that solution is for now or for today, then that is known as static. You can't expect it can be updated lifetime or in future, maybe tomorrow or day after, right? But dynamic, once a solution, a formula is given, you don't have to involve it again and again. It will give you automatic answers. So that's how we are going to start our basic Excel with static, not statistical. Statistical is different again. Static means a basic one, or like, functions we can call it, or the functionalities we have within Excel, or we can also say like not formulas. Formulas will come under your dynamic. Your keys, like your shortcut keys, like Control E, Flash Fill, all these functionalities we will be learning with the basic, and slowly, without we knowing, we'll get into advanced level, a dynamic, which will give you a permanent solution. So that's what we are going to do. So under Excel, you can see all these are basic. Like we will introduce Excel. We also tell you a very small thing, what is a row, column, attribute, and all. We talk about control enter, and then we'll get into this cell referencing, which is most important part of the Excel. If you don't understand this absolute relative mixed, you cannot get any dynamic solutions. So at least a week, it's a basics. At least a week. When I say week, means 5 days class in a week. 1 week you have 5 working days. At least a 5 days you will have all basic, like flash fill, control T, like format as table, conditional formatting, all these things. And slowly we are getting into functions. I mean formulas, like which is known as your arithmetic functions, like where we introduce our statistical formulas, which is known as sum if s, count if s, knowing the difference between them, average if s, max if s, all this. And again, we'll be also discussing logical functions, which will give you a logical output, like where you can customize your output using your if operator, nested if error and all. Later on we will be also learning some mathematical functions. After that, different types of lookup functions. We have many lookups. VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, nested VLOOKUP, normal lookup, index with match, index with the column, which is not updated here, index with row, indirect, offset, and there is something called even XLOOKUP. Very lately has been also, means it has come upgraded lately. I will cover that also. Maybe the syllabus doesn't have here. So the latest update, I'm a kind of a trainer. What all the latest, I'll read the latest updates and I'll update all those things. And I'll tell you the difference how this Microsoft, I mean this Excel belongs to a Microsoft company, how they are upgrading the tool so that we will never leave that tool, because they keep on upgrading the tool so that we'll keep on utilizing the tool forever, right? In the same manner how they're upgrading the tool, we should also upgrade our skills in order to make some credibility to us in this market. That is more important. Learning is more important. You should never stop learning. Okay. And then slowly we'll go to some advanced functions, which is no, which is a combination of arithmetic, logical, lookup, and some data validation. How do you validate your data, and your date and text functions? In date, you have multiple functions like EO month, data diff. If you are not updated here, but week number, week day, year, day, all this kind of date functions. And then your text functions like uppercase, lowercase, propercase, which all these functions are useful for your data cleaning. How can you cleanse your data? Like finding the spacers, removing null values, errors. We can do it in Power Query. Still in Excel also we will be learning how to do with formulas. Of course, it is little bit kind of tough and logical thinking is needed, but still we will be doing that advanced level as well. And again, data handling cases, like how do you handle data? Like what are data cleaning? Data type identification. How can you identify the duplicates and how can you remove duplicates? Then we'll get into formatting and filtering. These are few features. Again, this will come under your basic Excel. So how can you remove duplicate, sort, advanced sort, filter, all this comes. Advanced filter, all these are some features available in your Excel. Those things also I'm going to teach you. And then your data visualization, under visualization, normal formatting, and what is conditional formatting, and along with that you have format as table also. So how the normal formatting is a basic, conditional formatting based on condition we do, and inside conditional formatting what all there, we will be covering each and every point with multiple examples. Then your data summarization, like we have few things here. One is known as pivot, another one is known as power pivot, and another one is known as power query. Can you read here? Power query, power pivot, and pivot. We are going to learn all of this. Pivot is already advanced level, but you go into a power pivot interface that is more advanced level, where it doesn't have a limitation to data getting, and even you can perform modeling here. And power query is completely for your transformation, completely for your data cleaning. Okay. And then you have your connecting to data, different modes like power query, pivot. It's the same thing. The same thing, like data cleaning, transformation. In under data cleaning, what all you have? You have merge queries, append queries. Guys, under Power Query, this is very simple, but we have lot many things to learn. I'm going to teach all those things in Power BI. Power Query, only I might take a walkthrough in Excel, but entire Power Query, at least a week, means maybe a 5 to 7 days, we are doing a data cleaning, including a web scraping as well. We do it in Power Query only. How can you get data from web? How can you do a web scraping? How can you combine multiple data from different data sources, data sets, everything, how to combine data, if it is in the same folder, if it is in a multiple different folders, what we do, how can we perform a modeling, like which is called as joins and union, how can we do a union and joins, that is which is known as your merge queries and append queries in Power Query. So that's how we will be starting a basic Excel to this advanced level. Am I clear so far? Any doubts in Excel? Anything you feel like, ma'am, this is missing, uh, or this is good? Any comments? Yes, good. No, good. Thank you. I wish everyone keep a message so that I feel like I'm talking to everyone. If only one or two people are doing like Nisar and Gopalakrishna and now Rushi answered, and I feel okay, these three are listening and others are not listening. That would be my feeling. So just drop a message. In any issue you can still ask. Okay. Now before I read out my SQL, let me talk about Power BI. Okay. Because I will read out MySQL, but Power BI, I will not read it out. I'm not going to read this. Even if I read it out, you guys will not understand. At least Excel is some understanding kind of topics you will understand. If I simply go and say Q&A chatbot, and if I go and simply just read it, it has no sense, right? So I'll try to explain this agenda in a little bit different manner. Okay. So let me get into yesterday's class. Mm, This is the yesterday class, right? Yeah, this steps. I'll just copy the steps from yesterday's session, and I will be explaining you Power Query agenda just matching to this one. Okay, I will be explaining you. So, what all we are going to cover in Power BI? So, that is basically divided into Power BI components. So, one after the other, I'm going to explain you about this Power BI components, and at the same time, its agenda also. Once you understand this, and then I go and read that syllabus, you will understand. Okay. So, the first thing, the first component here is, it is nothing but Power Query. Okay, the first component is Power Query. Power Query is known as ETL tool. Anyone know what is the full form of ETL? I'll just put it this side because I don't have space there. ETL full form is extract, transform, and load. Extract means getting the data from different data sources. Transform means cleaning the data, and then you load it. And then you load it into your Power BI desktop for further visualization or further building reports. So Power Query is known as your ETL tool. Mostly we extract here and use this for cleaning purpose. Cleaning purpose. Okay. And what kind of a language we write here is, we write here M language. What language we write? We write here M language. The language name is M language. Okay. The language we write inside this Power Query is M language. So this is known for your cleaning purpose. That is one of the component inside the Power BI. And second comes here is Power BI, sorry, let me write, which is known as Power Pivot. The Power Pivot is mostly used for your data modeling plus answering the business problems, which is known as data mining. Power Pivot is useful for data modeling plus answering the business problem, which is known as data mining. Means here we are also going to use for advanced level, we are going to use a language called DAX language, or I'll simply write DAX. The full form of DAX I'm writing here, it is nothing but data analysis, sorry guys, expression. Data analysis expression. Inside the Power Pivot, we are going to write DAX, which is known as Data Analysis Expression. Okay, and here we are going to use for data mining and data modeling. Okay, we already know what is data mining from yesterday's session. Now let me explain you what is data modeling. 2 minutes, come out of from here and switch here. Data modeling is nothing but, let's understand, you have multiple tables like this. Okay, you're trying to you're trying to um maybe you're trying to combine the data like this. It means you're trying to form a relationship between these tables. Let's understand. Yesterday, if you remember, we are getting region-wise sales and top 10 products or top 10 customers. So let's understand, you have all kind of locations, maybe your regions column in this table, and maybe your products and customer data in this table, and sales and profit data in this table. When you combine a relation, having a common column can be anything. Okay, I'm not getting into too depth. Having some common column, you're forming a relationship and you're getting answer for region wise sales and product wise sales. Just because you form a relationship, you're getting that output. How you're forming a relationship? You're forming a relationship using a common column, and forming a relationship between multiple tables, putting together everything together, is known as your data modeling. Am I clear, everyone? Please ask any doubts. Any doubts? Akanksha, Gopalakrishna, Nizar, Rama, Rishi, Santu, um, Shashank. Any doubts? Understood what is data modeling? Just on a upper view you understand, don't get into depth, because when in class, to explain you data modeling concept, it will take me 1 end of our time. It's not easy, but an overview, okay, data modeling is this, that's what we have to understand. So that I'm happy I'm getting answers. Okay, everyone, please do answer. Okay, and that can be done in Power Pivot, your data modeling plus data mining. Okay, after that, next component you have here is Power View. Power View is mostly known for your data visualization, like building your pictures and graphs. Okay, building your pictures and graphs. Yesterday I've shown you pie chart, line chart, donut chart, anything you're putting in your visuals, that can be done in your Power View component. And then you're having your Power BI services. Of course, this is not a component inside the Power BI, but this is one of the component which will help you for publishing your dashboard. It's a cloud platform where you publish your dashboard or report, where you publish your dashboard or report. Okay, and finally you have your Power BI desktop tool, and this is a tool where this Power BI desktop is a tool where you will be going and working. This is a software tool. This is a software tool where you're going and working above all components inside this desktop only. See, from 1 to 3, inside this desktop only are going to work all of them. Okay, so one more time, I'll tell you guys. Um, the first point, Power Query will help you to collect data and also to do a transformation of data. And Power Pivot will help you in doing modeling as well as data mining, which will help you to answer your business problems. That is how you can do in your Power Pivot. For more customized level, you can get into a DAX. DAX is nothing but in Excel we call it as a formulas. In Power Pivot we call it as a DAX. So using DAX, you give solution to the business problems. So there are different DAX kinds of DAX like column, measures, and table. I'm gonna give you very good sessions on this DAX because in entire program, like in entire Power BI, DAX is the only, one second, DAX is the only technical part of the Power BI. You understand what is technical and non-technical, right? Understanding a tool is non-technical. There is nothing technical in that. You purchase one mobile, you are trying to understand that features one time, two time, third time, you know it much more better. So there is nothing technical in that. In Power BI also like that only. You are trying to understand the features. First time it is tough, second time you understand and you will repeat it. That is easy. But the technical part here is giving solution to the business is possible only with your DAX, only with your DAX. Max is not required, Shashank. Absolutely not required. Little bit of logical thinking is required and I'll tell you how can you get it. Okay. Max background not required. Coding background not required. Once you join, you're not doing any calculations here. The system will do calculations for you. You will make this um, tools to work for you, but you're not calculating inside into that. But we should know for which scenario what formula you have to use or what DAX you have to use or what procedure you have to follow in order to achieve the result. Okay, so this is not a rocket science, it's very easy. Mathematics is not needed. So Power Pivot will help in data mining, and next Power View helps in data visualization, and Power BI services is a cloud platform in real time. If you go with experience and you say I already have 2 years or 3 years, and when you try to crack your interview, people will ask definitely interview questions on Power BI services because this is not a free tool. Desktop is a free but not services. But we have somewhere around 45 to 60 days free trial if you have a Microsoft account. By using that, let's learn about all the features in Power BI services. Like, let it be workspace, row level security, different kinds of access issues, or anything. Applications, anything which is related to Power BI services, we will be learning. This is useful to onboard your dashboard into the services. It is helpful for sharing purpose, means publishing. And as I said, Power BI desktop involves all of them. It will work all other steps like collecting, it will do, even it can perform transformation, not very much clean, even data mining and visualization because all these components belongs to the Power BI desktop. It looks clumsy. Let me erase the slides. Okay. So that is the components of your Power BI and I made you understand data modeling. So like this, we divide. Here it might go take up to a week and Power Pivot DAX will take at least 10 to 12 days because it's the most technical part. 10 to 12 hours we need. Then Power View will take 1 week, more than a week also sometimes because we are explaining not only basic visuals but custom visuals also. I'll show you tomorrow. I'll show you tomorrow what kind of a visuals I'm going to explain you, which will help you in understanding like how can you analyze your performance, how can you optimize your reports. Everything will come under this Power View. I'm gonna take it. So that will also take another 1 week. And Power BI services is easy, hardly 3 to 4 days, it's done. 2, 3 days, it's done. So like that, we will be starting and we'll be winding up with our components, which will help to achieve all of these steps. Starting from collecting, cleaning, modeling, mining, visualization, everything we are going to cover in this components. And related to this, now I'll speak out in agenda. Maybe you will understand little bit because I simply go and read it out. You will not understand anything. Correct, guys. Okay. Can I take it is clear so far, everyone? Shashank? Chandu, Akansha, Rushi, Nizar, Gopalakrishna. Yeah, good. Fine. Now let me go back to this one. It's gonna be easy for you to understand now. See, first we'll start with introduction and even I don't give any checklist for this installation. Of course, it was written there because not required. Installation will take hardly 5 minutes. Maybe downloading depends upon your Wi-Fi data issue, and it might go a little bit slower. But we have less students today, so installation will take very small time. Okay. Small time. So less time we can complete it. And I'm gonna take entire walkthrough of Power BI and I'll be understanding the difference, making you understand between desktop and Power Query. But you guys already understood by now, right? Understood by now. Okay, Rama, why not 12? Because 12 o'clock, most of the people will not prefer. Any possible to schedule early hours? I'm saying 10:30 to 11:30 is the batch. Is that okay, Rama? 10:30 to 11:30 is the batch. Yes, Rama, you're good with these timings? Yeah, thank you. So, guys, it is 10:30 to 11:30 is the class timing. It's not 12 o'clock. Okay. One more time, I'm repeating. Now, so this is about your introduction, and then we'll be talking about entire interface, correct? Entire walkthrough, different types of visuals like basic visuals to custom visuals, and I'll tell you how to collect data from multiple data sources, not only from basic like Excel, SQL, CSV files, sometimes from web, PowerPoint, like this different things, and mostly what is important, those kinds. And then your sample dashboard, at least one dashboard I'll be preparing for you with a perfect color backgrounds and from start to end, like planning your dashboard and how you can do it. Then we will be understanding the scatter plot, play axis, everything. Then um, all this artificial intelligence visuals like Q&A, chatbot, AI analyzers, hierarchy tree, decomposition tree. There are many visuals it is talking about. All this also comes under visualization only. It was repeatedly divided by different visuals. Column, line, bar chart, stacked bar chart, like that. And then your Power Query, as I said in Power Query, see how to load data from the folder, from Excel, CSV files. What about split to delimiter? And in split only, not only delimiters, we have multiple things. We'll learn that. Maybe we are going to start with Power Query split only. So you will understand how much content I can cover on one single thing. From tomorrow we will be starting. Then your append queries, merge queries, the most important part. It can be your interview question, must interview questions because that is what we do it in a real time.
बहुत बुरा हाल है साला।
Sorry. Yeah. And different combining techniques we will be learning in Power Query. We will be also learning how to manage parameters, functions, and different type, how to do forecasting, trend analysis, and at the same time we will be learning web scraping, project cleaning, how to fill down, and how to deal with null values, duplicates, and everything in Power Query. And after that modeling, I just said like having relationship between multiple tables. This modeling can take at least 1 to 1.5 hour session because we are supposed to learn about data cardinalities and its filter directions. There are single direction, both direction, that is easy, but cardinalities you're supposed to learn. There are four different kinds of cardinalities I'm going to explain, and which cardinality you're going to use in your real time. At the same time, if you are facing some different kind of cardinality where the data is getting impacted, how can you use your bridge table in order to give solution to that? So this entire thing in 1.5 hour, I'm going to complete in your modeling part, and it's the most important part of the session. Yes. After that, as I said, some custom visuals like buttons, triggers, bookmarks, navigations, where we use for toggle, a custom tooltip, drill down, all this. Okay. Shapes, all this we are going to learn. Then comes your DAX. Whatever you're seeing DAX here is very much limited, was visual here. But again, you are going to learn something more than this. This is really not enough. You're going to learn something more than this. We are going to learn data cleaning functions, date function, time and intelligence functions, text functions, logical functions, all kind of functions. Okay. And then you have your Power BI services. As I said, it is used for giving your report or dashboard to your end user. So how the data flow would be, how will you schedule refresh? And one important thing which is not mentioned here, but row level security and data flows and use of Power BI, how can you use it online? Um, Multiple things. How can you create workspaces, and how can you work on in your personal workspace, and how can you work on a shared workspace, like in a real time, how can you work on a shared workspace, like that. Starting with collecting to publishing, we are completing our Power BI. I hope it's clear now. So maybe in our demo sessions, um, if maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we'll start Power BI. Maybe tomorrow I'll take one SQL session also. One session for SQL. Maybe at least introducing you SQL, at least 15 to 20 minutes. Tomorrow I'll try to take so that you will understand how I'm going to teach SQL also. Because SQL is the most important part of any role, I can say. Yesterday we learned some roles where job opportunities you can apply. I said SQL developer, Power BI developer, data analyst, business analyst, and all of them need SQL must. So just understand how much important it is. It is more important than your Power BI. Power BI you are learning a tool, but SQL you are learning a program, and it is like a strong base for any IT designations or you call it as. Okay. And here SQL full form is structured query language. Yes, personal workspace, it cannot be accessible by others. Rushi, um, you can't provide your personal workspace to other until unless they have your credentials. If they are logging in to your credentials, then they will have your personal workspace. Like it's like your personal laptop. If you give your system ID and password, others can use your laptop in the same way. Personal workspace is also like that. But there would be a one shared workspace. For that, you can provide read access, whatever access you want. Like different kinds of access are there. In that workspace, other can do access, not to your personal workspace. Obviously, you're not going to give your credentials to others, right? Yes. Okay. So let me complete this, Rishi and everyone. I'll take your doubts at last. Now, what I'm saying, SQL full form is structured query language. This SQL we are going to use under a product called MySQL. Okay. Now, there are different types of databases. We are going to introduce your database, and installation of Workbench will definitely take some time. We will be installing Workbench along with that command line. Workbench and command line. two client softwares. Tomorrow I'll be talking about what is this client software. So you'll understand much more better. Tomorrow I'll take one session on SQL as well. So we will be explaining the databases, RDBMS and different types of RDBMS and how to install this workbench. Two client softwares I'm going to install in your systems. And this will really take time. If you guys are joining, please don't download SQL by yourself. I'll definitely help you out. Power BI, at least you can give a try, but SQL, don't do it. Because the problem is when you forget the password of something, you forget the password inside the SQL by any chance, again you have to uh, restart your steps from the beginning. Means you have to remove your uninstall entire SQL from your system. So that is more important. So just give time for it. I'll help you out in downloading this SQL. After that, we will be learning about commands. Uh, Commands is something which is going to take you out throughout your SQL. So this plays a very vital role in your SQL. There are different kinds of commands, data definition language, DML, DQL, DCL, TCL. There are five different types of commands. Um, I don't have much time to explain this, but tomorrow in introduction, I'll take up this session as well because you will understand why it is more important. It is known as data definition language, data manipulation language, data query language, control language, and transaction control language. Commands. Inside these commands, we have multiple things. DDL commands have five subcommands. DML have three subcommands. DQL has one. DCL has two. TCL has three. Again, all these commands we are going to learn with practicals. Like, for example, in DDL, you have create, alter, truncate, like this. And DQL is like select. DML is like your insert, select, sorry, insert, update, delete, like this. Okay. So after completing commands, again, I'll talk about data types. And trust me, guys, I'm not going to tell you this is the data type, this is the integer, this is char, varchar, not like that. But I'm going to even help you out. When should you choose? For example, within text, we have two things. One is called char and another one we have is varchar. When should you go with char? When should you go with varchar? How in backend the performance and storage is going to be there? Like this, for data, only for data types also, I'm going to take entire 1 hour session. Okay. And then you have different kind of operators, basically, which will help you in giving a business solutions. You have limit, distinct, where clause, or in, not null, in, is null. Wildcards, you have some wildcards are very good thing where you can get data like this only. And your order by group by clause, having all these operators we will be learning. And how can you handle your null values? Then again, you have some functions, basic function. All this as aggregated functions. We can also call it as just very basic functions. All this like sum, average, minimum, maximum, which is known as your group functions, where you can use whenever you use your group by clause only, along with that your aggregate functions. And you have your date and time functions. We are going to teach you date and time functions. Then comes your constraints. Constraints is nothing but it is a limitation. Constraint is nothing but a limitation. Like, when you have to use your primary key, when you have to use your not null. For example, you created one person, the person ID is 101. His name is Avinash, age is 26. Unfortunately, you run this one more time or you run this 10 times. You just run this query, unfortunately. So, 10 times it will get repeated. All this. So, what is happening? Duplicacy or data redundancy is increasing. A lot of duplicates are increasing. So to have a control on this, we might use a constraint called unique and even primary key. There is a difference between them. I'll explain later on. Whenever you use this constraint while creating that table, if you run this multiple times, 2 times, 100 times also, it will not create. It will give you an error saying duplicate entry is not allowed because of this constraint. So constraints act like a limitations which will help you to make the process go in a good manner or a perfect manner or in a structured manner. I don't know if it is going behind your brain. You can stop me and you can say, ma'am, wait and continue. I am okay to do that. Okay. And then you have your joins. These are the types of joins where we use um like
इसमें भी हो रखा है आपका स्टाफ हाँ बोलिए
sorry, Nijal, what it is?
नीचे नीचे नहीं मारना है आपको और नीचे जाने का मारना है
Nizar, I'm sorry, I kept you on mute. Guys, don't unmute yourself if you're not involving in the class matter, okay? I know sometimes we are at home, someone will come. It happens for me as well. Don't worry, but please be on mute, okay?
ओके
Yeah, thank you, Nisar. And these are the joins. Joins are like just like before I explained you in Power BI with a picture combining data having a common column. It is the same here. But here you have different joins like inner join, left join, right join. When you attend the class only, I can explain you what is this. Okay. So as of now, you should understand joins are nothing but you're combining multiple tables. You're combining two or more tables with having a common column. That is known as your joins. Okay. Having a common column and you're combining tables is known as a join. Sometimes even you don't need your common column. That is known as only your cross join. In cross join, even there is no common column, you can do a join. Okay. Then this is your DDL commands. I already explained this. You can just read it out by yourself. DML, TCL. Okay. So I can say till here it is a basic only. Whatever we learned till here, it is a basic only. Okay, till here. Now from here, advanced level comes. So even if you don't know this also, you can get hired as a data analyst because it's not necessary that every data analyst should know the stored procedures. He should know user-defined functions. Not necessary. But to become a SQL developer, you should know it. Because we are covering multiple job designations. That is why we designed course in an advanced level. We are going to teach you what is indexes and views. Views are nothing but it's like a act like a temporary table. Why do we use views? Is like I can explain you better when you join the session, but as of now, if I have to explain you in one line, let's understand this is a data, okay? Which has let's understand which has multiple departments here, like 1 to 100 departments in this table. Okay, now some new employee joined. When new employee joined your company, you don't wanted to give him access which belongs to all the departments. He joined your company, but you're not willing to give access to this 1 to 100 departments. Okay. Maybe he's joined your company, but he belongs to a department called 80. He belongs to a department called 80 and you wanted to give access to only to this department. But the data is there in one table. The from like here is a department column. Just understand here it has 1, 2, 3, 80, 80, 100 like that. It has multiple thing in one table. How can I give him access to this because I don't wanted him to view other departments. His work is to view only AD department. In that case, what we will be doing, will be going and creating a view on one query. We basically write one select query saying where department ID equal to 80. We'll write one query. On top of this query, we are going to give one view, and this view will act like a temporary table. This view will act like a temporary table, and then we will give him access. So this goes into your advanced level. Just I'm telling you, how can you think beyond as a data analyst just for giving access to a person one temp. You don't wanted to give him 1 to 100 departments, but you wanted to give him only one department. So you extract that. You filter the table using that SQL query. On top of this, you create one view. That view will act like a temporary table, and you are going to give access to that view. Clear? Getting my point, or I have to repeat it again? Akanksha, Gopal Krishna, Nizar, Rishi, Shashank, Santu. Clear? Perfect. And like that, again, we learned stored procedures. Stored procedures will automate your output very easily. Then we have different kind of functions, window functions. Under window function, you have rank, dense rank, lead, lag, row number, and so on. Not only the window functions, available functions, or group functions, or aggregated functions, but we are also giving you user-defined function. There is no function, but you are going and giving your own function. So it is more advanced. We are teaching you this. All this union, intersect, subquery. Subqueries are important. Under the subqueries, we have again different subqueries like normal subquery and correlated subquery. We are going to teach you that. That is most important part, which is important in basic and advanced. Then how do you handle your errors, handling purpose, and then triggers. Triggers also important. How can you use your trigger before and after statements? All basically trigger will work on your DML commands. So that is also so much advanced level. You will be enjoying my SQL sessions for sure. It's my promise. So this is about your SQL, and I'm giving you time. Anything you felt like you missed out, let me know. Ma'am, something is not covered, let me know. If you're good, we'll get into next Python. And then we'll wind up because it's already 1:05. Tomorrow we can get into installation. I know this obviously takes some time. Yeah. I hope it's clear, right, SQL? And okay, thank you guys. And then your Python. Python is a coding, I know. Um, it's a coding again. I said it's a non-coding program, true, but again we are introducing Python also, so that because most of the students, especially freshers, like they don't have experience, so the people always wonder to get whatever is above, right? Like, we always aim for the best. So, coding is always above than non-coding. That is true. Means in what factors it is above? In money factors. In commercial, in money factors, the package will be really good. For data scientist packages, little bit more than your data analyst package. This is truth. But again, data analyst package is not less at all because I am satisfied with my salary. I'm really happy. I'm not doing any coding, but in my company, I really have very good credibility. I'm earning good package. As a trainer, also I'm happy. As an employee, also I'm happy. And whenever I do my work, whenever I prepare any dashboard or report, I enjoy my work for me. And whatever salary I'm getting, I'm happy. So I know even if you having a self-satisfaction, you will be happy with it. But again, why do we need Python here, guys? Why am I talking so much about it? It is not very much necessary. You have to stress yourself for anything. Coding is really a stress thing. That is true. If you agree or not. Maybe few students did BTech or maybe something background, they like it, they love it. They love coding, that is easy for them. You should love it. It's not even you have to like, you should love it, then it is easy. But again, some more the other day you feel stress for sure, because most of the coding students have come and joined my course, and they are compromised on their salary, and they are becoming a data analyst or business analyst now, trust me. And there is not much variance in salary also, mind you, difference is there. Even here you learn multiple tools, you get that salary, and trust me, have some good communication also, guys. Definitely you are given very good priority in your company, and you will get very good hike in salary. Okay, fine. And in Python, though it's a coding, we why first of all, why are we using Python? This is a very good, optimized, and good performance tool. How much ever big data you deal with it, Python will help you out. That's why you have to learn this. And then you have Anaconda. I'll be starting like this. We'll be installing Anaconda, and then we'll launch the Jupyter nodes, and I'll explain you what is Anaconda, what is Jupyter nodes, and everything. I like its mix of coding data and testing, right? Coding data. Testing is done. I mean, the testing is again different. There are two kinds of testing. Testing can be done in normal data analysis also. Um, yeah, correct. Then you have under Python, you have different data types, operators we will be learning. And again, your data structures, like, these are the data structure. List, tuples, sorry, I'll write here list, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. Okay, this four are known as your data structures, and other things like integer, boolean, float, and string is your data type. Okay. And then I'll come back to your answer question, Rishi. Just a minute. Let me complete. It hardly takes 2 minutes. Then how each data type is working? Is it heterogeneous or it is mutable? Like it is like, how can we? What are the functions we can use inside these data structures? What are inbuilt functions and what is user defined function? Can we do indexing, slicing? All this I'll be explaining for all of the data structures. So all these sequence methods, concatenate, repetition, lin, min, max, all we are going to learn. Reverse sorting, basic sorting, everything we are going to learn, indexing, and um, even your loops concept. Can you say loops concepts? Everything we will be learning. Um, and your data cleaning functions like decision making statements like if, elif, break, continue, for loop. All these loops we will be learning, for loop, while loop, and all. Then we'll get into pandas and numpys, which is most important, mostly used one. And again, some libraries like Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotlib. We'll be learning this much, and it might take up to 10 days, 10 to 12 days time. Um, yeah, 10 to 12 days time it will take to complete Python and little bit of Git. And I said ChatGPT doesn't involve, we are not getting into too depth, but using ChatGPT, how can you work on it? How can you automate your reports? I will definitely show you. I'll definitely show you at the end of this. And that's all about syllabus. It is already 1:10. We still have 2 days time, don't worry. So let me answer Rushi question. Data modeling knowledge is must for data analysis. It is must. I will be help you out how to do your data modeling using different cardinalities. It is must, Rushi. Okay. And guys, this is the agenda. You feel like something is compromised, you need something more. Let me know. I'll still think about it. And any doubts for the day? Apart from this, also, you can ask some general questions also. It's the time I'm giving you now. After this, we can wind up the session. Regarding anything, please go ahead and ask. Time for you guys to ask. What do you mean normal form? How many normal form means? I didn't understood. Normalization you are saying? What does it mean? Till how many normal form? Okay, you're saying normalization is not covered. Actually, it is not required. If you want, I can show you one class, but it is not required. Normalization. 2 enough, 3 enough. If you want, I can show you. Yeah. And anything else? Apart from agenda, also you can. Any doubts, guys? Akanksha, Gopalakrishnan, Nizar, Rishi, Santu, Shashank. No doubts. Perfect. If that is the case, can we wind up the session for the day, guys? And please do attend tomorrow. We'll do Power BI installation in all your systems, hardly 15-20 minutes. Then a little bit of SQL introduction I'll give tomorrow. And day after tomorrow, that is on Friday, we'll take one practical session on Power BI, maybe Power Query, and that is your final session. Okay, and from Monday, please convert yourself. And trust me, quality is promised and right data we are getting, and of course you're on a right place. Okay, so assuming no doubts, I'm winding up the session for the day. Okay, everyone. And I can see just a minute, guys. Just a minute before I wind up. Okay, yeah, nothing as of now. Fine. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.